And you know what? Mayor Goodman is very vocal. She has been. She wants the city reopened. But she was widely criticized after a national interview she did with CNN's Anderson Cooper, where she suggested that Las Vegas should reopen almost as a test site for the rest of the country. A lot of people didn't really like that suggestion. But she's coming out saying, you know what? People are not working. They need money. They need to work. Our economy is crumbling. And that's why she wants to open the city back up. And this was a huge point of last night's city council meeting. She actually started the meeting by reading the impassioned pleas she says she's received over email over the past few weeks. The economic shutdown, she says, is taking a toll. She even posed the question, when is reopening too soon? Too late. The mayor was called reckless during a national interview with CNN's Anderson Cooper, even dangerous by some, but now maintains with 393,000 plus unemployment claims in Nevada already, each day, she says, could have dire consequences. She also urged the state to step up efforts to process more unemployment claims, saying that she hears daily from people who says they've filed, they've attempted countless calls, but they have still not received a check. As for her critics at this meeting, there weren't many.
The fear of imminent, utter poverty is every bit as real as the fear of the virus. I will continue. All I have is my voice, and that's all I can use. And I promise you, I will not stop speaking.
Appreciate it.
As for those who oppose Mayor Carolyn Goodman, there is a petition circulating right now to recall her position as mayor. If the petition gets enough signatures, then a mayoral recall election could take place. As for the mayor, she says, you know what, people have their rights to do what they want to do. She is going to keep pushing, and she's calling on the state, her first priority, get the folks who were promised unemployment their unemployment checks.
Of course, even in the midst of COVID-19, people still have the right to vote. Nevada's June primary has shifted to mail-in ballots only. But what does this pandemic mean for the general election? Months away. News 3's GABBY pulled in a local political analyst to weigh in.
Well, pandemic or no pandemic, constitutionally, we have to have an election. But COVID-19 could alter the voting process as we know it. Still, the political analyst I spoke with says in light of this crisis, people are likely more eager to vote and make their voices heard.
Things are happening right now and people are feeling it. I'm out of a job, I'm sick, something is actually physically happening to them. So I think there will be more voters who are going to participate from a visceral level.
SONDRA COSGROVE is a political analyst based in Las Vegas. She says having a presidential election during a pandemic is uncharted territory. But at a time like this, voters are paying more attention.
It's definitely put a laser focus on leadership, both on the president and on Vice President Biden, because he's going to have to say how he would do things differently.
A Monmouth poll released Tuesday shows President Trump's approval has slipped over the past few months, with 42% approving of the job he's doing handling this crisis and 51% disapproving.
Most incumbent presidents try and kind of push away crisis and push away things that would make the focus and the spotlight be right on them. And that's just not going to happen this time.
In that same poll, Vice President Joe Biden is slightly ahead of President Trump with a 50% approval rating.
And you would think, well, politics is something different than what we're dealing with because we have a medical emergency that's happening. And yet almost all the people that are making decisions are elected. They're politicians. And so the two have to merge together.
Even if times are uncertain, elections must go on. COSGROVE believes Nevada is prepared for a mail-in primary next month. And she says this could be a test run for November's election if the coronavirus is still prevalent.
Breaking down the law this Wednesday. Our focus today, the breakout Netflix hit, The Tiger King. Matt Hoffman joining us as he does every Wednesday with Battle Board Injury Lawyers. So, Matt, there's a new television series starring Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic in the works. So the question is, will Joe Exotic, who is currently in prison, receive royalties from this new TV series or even that wildly popular documentary?
So the new series is going to be a fictionalized story based upon the events of the documentary. And so the question would be like, well, most people would think that if you're the basis for a show, that you should get royalties from that. And the answer is most likely not. In Hollywood, it's common they'll pay for somebody's true life story, but they more do that as a business decision because they want exclusivity and access. But if you want to do a story, a movie, a dramatization, a book based upon true events about somebody, that is a free speech issue. That's freedom of expression.
Yeah.
And the only real way to, recover for that is if the portrayal is just so defamatory and untrue and it's intentionally done, then perhaps you could recover. But otherwise, look at the movie The Social Network, which was all about Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg never got a dime from that. He had nothing to do with that. But it was based upon the rise of Facebook and the events surrounding a lawsuit, which is all public record, and you can dramatize that, and you don't have to worry about being sued for it, and you don't have to pay royalties. So for Joe Exotic, he's not going to get any money out of this. I mean, he could try. It'd be different if they merchandise him. You put him on a coffee mug or something, but it's fair game. If you put yourself out there in a 5-year documentary, and that's a lot of material, and they have the right to dramatize that under free speech, freedom of expression.
This hospital is less than 2 blocks from Lola's Summerlin location, and many of the employees here are regular customers there. So this was a great opportunity to give back. 100 lunches delivered right about noon, each one containing jambalaya, salad, and fig cakes. And like every other restaurant, of course, Lola's has been affected by the shutdown. In fact, they are just beginning curbside takeout this Friday. But today, the staff came in strictly for the nurses, professionals working hard for the community's health.
I know it's their job, but they actually have choices, and they're facing this pandemic up front, and it's amazing that they're taking that risk. They have to be so passionate to do that.
I think it makes all of the nurses feel really supported, like the community has our back, and we're really excited that they feel that way about us right now, because it can be a little bit scary being in public right now, to be honest with you. The public doesn't want to be infected, we don't want to infect the public, so it feels really good that they bring things to the hospital where there's no contact.
Along with the lunches, the nurses were also given new masks today and special gifts from canine celebrity Bark Andre Furry, including some stuffed plushies. So many groups working together today to make sure these nurses who are taking care of our community are taking care of themselves.